I'm Elly. Today I'm going to read you a story. The Sneezles. Are you ready? Yeah. One. Achoo! Large pale green clouds floated over the city. Nobody had ever seen anything like them. Those clouds have come from Mars, said the royal astronomer. Those clouds have been made by our enemies and sent to invade us, said the commander in charge of the army. Those clouds are full of green paint, and when it pours, it will turn all my nice white learned green, said the royal watchman. In other words, nobody knew what the clouds were. They soon found out because the clouds began to snow big puffy green balls. Everyone stared at the cloud, watched the pale green puffballs floated down faster and faster. As they landed, they exploded with a little piff. Out came a fine green powder dust that drifted away. Some strange. Oh, a bird sneezed. Achoo! It was a huge sneeze. It was so powerful that the bird shot backwards, straight into a hole in a tree where it stuck. Everywhere, birds began to sneeze. If they were flying, they went rocketing backwards at high speed. Whoosh! If they were sitting on a branch, they spun around and round until at last they fell off clump. A dog sneezed so hard it ended up in a tree. A cow sneezed and every bit of milk came shooting out of its udders like water from a water pistol. A horse sneezed and performed a high-speed cartwheel backwards. Then the people started to sneeze. Achoo! One man sneezed his boots off. Achoo! Another came shooting around the pajama bottoms, and he had to run home very quickly before anyone could see it. Achoo! A woman shot into the air like a rocket with a dress on. Soon everyone was taking off into the air. Every time they sneezed, they went shooting up all over the city as if they were on giant invisible pogo sticks. Oh. We have all caught Martian's jumping fever. The astronomer, we must leap into the lake and hide at the bottom. Then we'll be all right. But we shall drown, the general pointed out. What we need to do is attack the enemy. No, insisted the royal watchman. We must make sure we're all wearing clean underwear. That will sort everything out. In other words, nobody knew what to do. 2 sneezles. They were 2 small children, a brother and sister, called Hall and Bella, who knew at once what the green puffy balls were. Sneezles, said Hall. They're sneezles. That's right, said Bella. Achoo, bang! Achoo, bang! Achoo, bang! Things were getting worse by the hour. The sneezles were coming for more and more powerful. Achoo! It was chaos. People began weighing themselves down with anything heavy. They tied themselves to the cabins with rope. Achoo! They tied themselves to the gander clocks with string. Clang, achoo, bong. They glued themselves to garden sheds. Achoo! If they didn't, they would find themselves stuck up the top of a tall building or lodge up a tree. The king declared the nation emergency. He and his minister started wearing giant iron boots. What's more, all the king's horses and all the king's men had to wear giant iron boots too. They couldn't go anywhere because their boots were too heavy. But at last, when they sneezed, they only moved a little bit. There must be a cure of the sneezles, declared the king. We must build a rocket, fly to Mars, and drink a glass of water upside down. The royal astronomer. That's the cure of hiccups, said the journal. What we must do is take prisoners, but you can't capture sneezles. The royal watchman pointed out. What you must do is boil everything in a washtub and hang them on the line to dry. In other words, nobody knew what the cure was. Three, problem solved. Nobody, that is except Hall. He had noticed something very interesting. When those puffballs come down from the land of the bonfire, they didn't go piff. They go sizzle splop. And that's the end of them. I think we must use fire to burn away all the puffballs. The royal astronomer said, Ridiculous, child. How can we get up to those clouds? The general said, Stupid boy, you can't burn clouds. The royal rushman didn't say anything. He had just sneezed so hard he fell into the washtub. Then clever Bella spoke up. We must get a big hook. We tie We tie it to a long rope. We must put the hook in a cannon and fire it into the air. Boo! It hooks onto a cloud. We pull the cloud down and put it on the bonfire. She's right, said Hall. And everyone stared at the children hard. The royal astronaut was going to say something unique, but he sneezed, and although he was wearing giant iron boots, he hadn't done up the laces properly. He went whizzing up in the air, and he didn't stop until he landed on Mars. Oh dear, murmured the king. We'd better do as Bella said. So they did, and it worked. One by one, they pulled the clouds of the sky and burned them back, and it was the end of the sneezles. Then they started rescuing all their friends and neighborhoods who had ended up in trees or on roofs or steeples, except, of course, there were some people they didn't bother with because they didn't like them very much. Hal and Bella became heroes, and a statue was made of them. So if you ever find yourself in a city with a statue of a clever young brother and a sister, you'll know you're in the city that runs the sneezles. If you look up, you can still see some of the people who weren't rescued. Most of them have really long beards now, because it all happened a very, very long time ago.